This is Nico, the most beautiful horse in the world, inside and out. He is the most physically perfect horse I have ever seen, and he is the sweetest, most loving, most devoted horse imaginable. We purchased Nico when he was just 4 months old in Holland after looking at hundreds of top Frisian babies. After he was weaned, he boarded a jet for his new home with us here in California. Nico grew up as part of our family, with another black Frisian colt that we also purchased in Holland. We built a special pasture just for them around our house. They loved poking their heads in our windows to see what we were up to. It was a magical time together, watching them grow up. My husband Victor and I spent our weekends hiking with the boys in the mountains. The horses would hike entirely free, racing off to explore the forests and valleys, eventually whinnying loudly to relocate us, racing back at breakneck speed to reconnect. We were their herd. These experiences were so remarkable, something I never imagined that I might even get to witness. 2 fairy tale horses racing each other across the countryside to see who could return to us first. It was incredible. Nico is so wonderfully unique, and he is actually quite famous. You have probably seen him before in a short soccer film titled Horses vs. Humans. That film somehow made its way all around the world, earning Nico some 40,000 fans. People still write to us from many different countries, marveling at his remarkable soccer skills and good sportsmanship. Animal Planet later asked our permission to air it on television too. It seems that everyone we meet has seen that film. He was also invited to be the halftime entertainment at a Las Vegas show. Nico has such a wonderfully playful nature. He is truly one of a kind. Last year, when Nico turned 4 years old, I started him gently under saddle. Instead of training him in the arena, we headed straight out into the mountains for our very first rides. He never gave a second thought to carry me on his back, and he clearly does so with such contentment. It is such a pleasure to ride him. I've still only taken Nico into the riding arena a handful of times. When I watch him at play, with his literally Olympic trot, I've thought about training him as a competitive dressage horse, like some of the other horses that I train here. But Nico is different. He's full of joy heading out to explore the mountains. Yet he's clearly saddened when I've given him the task of circling endlessly in the arena. So I decided to pay attention to that, to only nurture this magical horse, and not risk dimming his joy in any way. I guess I'm a wilderness rider at heart, too. There's no place I'd rather be than out on a mountain trail with a great horse, a canteen strapped to the saddle, and no destination in mind. And we're so lucky to live here where we do. Every day it feels we've stepped back centuries, like we're discovering this gorgeous Wild West for the very first time. I treasure each of our rides together. So the trail is where we spend each day, training to be practical, whether we are wearing an English saddle or a Western saddle. Nico is now an expert at opening gates and negotiating difficult footing. He has learned to wait patiently for me to get off and on to repair fences, fill water troughs, and check injured animals. He has become a true partner, and that's a rare and a wonderful thing, something I'm so glad to have experienced with him. We take advantage of the rangeland in our area by training each of our horses to herd cattle. It's such a wonderful way to build confidence, for a young horse to learn that groups of other big, strong animals will turn and run away from them. Nico is a bit skittish at heart, so moving cattle around has helped wonderfully to build his self-confidence. And he is so playful, he really loves the idea of directing other animals. He has also learned to sidestep plenty of snakes while out on the range, as you can see right here. My husband is the only other person who has ever ridden Nico. Like me, Victor has a kind seat and gentle hands. We are both very careful with the young horses we raise and train. We don't put anyone else up on them until, eventually, we meet their most perfect match and marry them off. Our goal is to send each of our trained horses out into the world with only good experiences and gentle riding shaping who they are. Nico is a once-in-a-lifetime horse. It is an honor to know him and to share each day with such a joyful, loving, enthusiastic friend.